Alrighty, good morning, evening, afternoon. Today we're riding the narrowest train in all of Japan, measuring at just half the width of a Japanese Shinkansen. It was actually almost closed around 10 years ago, but thanks to local opposition, it's been kept open. So before they get any new ideas, let's go and ride the trains, all of the lines and most of the stations, and also check out the surrounding area. Alrighty, and I'm at Yokkaichi City, a city right in the northern part of Mie Prefecture and right at the end of the Key Peninsula. And unfortunately, the whole station seems to be somewhat under construction, so I'm right next to the busy road, so apologies if the sound quality isn't that great, but today we're going to be riding the Asunarou Railway, a tiny railway in every sense of the word, with one branch which I think is around 6 kilometers, and then you've got a little kind of baby branch which we'll be riding as well. But in any case, my train leaves in about 6 minutes, so let's cross this road and head on over. And you see here, in case there's any doubt, we are here at the Asunarou Yokkaichi Station. And so this station is separate from the big old Kintetsu station. You have to go down, well, I say that as if I know where I'm actually going, but okay, it seems like somewhere down here. Yes, here we are. So thankfully you can pay by IC card, even though it's kind of a small private railway, for which I'll explain the history a bit later. But anyways. And like much of the Key Peninsula, it feels like they're using anime very, how do I say, freely to promote their trains. But anyways, we've got 2 of these tiny little Asunarou trains, and wow, this one is very busy. So when I was kind of preparing for this video, or thinking about it, I was thinking, how on earth am I going to illustrate just how small this is? Because I've never been on a train where it feels like I can touch the top, like literally. Obviously, I'm not going to do it because, you know, it's illegal, don't do that. But it literally feels like you can touch the roof of this thing. Anyways, we head on in. I hope there's not too many people on this carriage. Yeah, there's barely anyone. And this is, I think I could stretch out my arms and touch both sides. I'm going to see if I can try that. Just almost barely. That is insane. Okay, so maybe I've messed up. This actually isn't going to the smallest branch, but we can get off at the interchange station. That's just fine because we've got things to explore there. But one thing, yeah, there's only just enough space for one seat on each side to fill. Oh. There we go. Very rapid train. So the part we're on, this is obviously before the line branches to the baby branch and its kind of main branch. And at this portion, trains run every 15 minutes or so. For each individual branch, they come every half an hour. So thankfully, unlike yesterday when I was riding the Meishore line, where it was every like 2 to 3 hours, this should be a pretty easy explore, which I'm very thankful for. So the next stop is Hinaga, and that is the kind of the main big station, apart from obviously back in Yokkaichi. And it's also where it branches off. So I'm going to be getting off right here. We're going to explore the station a little bit and then hop onto the little baby branch. All right, yeah, and we are at Hinaga Station. But before I talk about this train, let's see this one off. I like how the barriers for the level crossing briefly opened as the train stopped, as if, like, you know, if you're just running and sprinting, you can make it. But anyways, there goes our little train, a little baby train. And if you're wondering, that is the branch to Nishihino, which I'm actually not sure when is arriving. Let me just take a look. I think I forgot, I don't have data right now, so I can't check when exactly the next train is. But as I said, it's a 15-minute interval, so it's probably 15 minutes, I'd guess. So anyways, let's cross on over, and you probably can't tell, but it's slightly drizzling. It's a slightly depressing day, I guess, fitting for the final day of the trip. We can see the curved branch for, what was it called again? Nishihoni Bibidi Bobidi. Yes, and one thing here I wanted to show you is it's a comparison of rail gauges. So if we just look here, and we'll have to cover the camera, the far right is Kintetsu and Shinkansen, the widest. Next is just JR regular lines, and then next we have the Asunarou Tetsudo, which as you can see is about half the width of a Shinkansen train, which is kind of ridiculous. So I guess while I wait for this train, let me just quickly explain why the track gauge is what it is. And well, I don't have a definitive answer in my head, but usually more narrow gauges are for saving money. So often private railways, I believe in Japan and also in the UK and all around the country, the world, sorry, would use narrow gauges because it saved money pretty much, and it meant they could actually open up the line. Now, I believe in Japan's case, many of those private railways which did do so converted their rail gauges to, I guess, the more standard Japanese gauges. But this one is just kind of just stuck it out. I'm not quite sure why, but it's still here, and it means that they stand out a little bit. So people like me come and visit Yokkaichi. Oh yes, this is one thing. Some trains have little windows through which you can see the gauge, the tracks. In this case, it's a bit dark though. I can't see it awfully well. I don't know. We'll see when it starts moving if it's a bit clearer. Ooh, you can see it moving slightly. That's a cool little addition though, isn't it? Okay, and we are at Nishihino, the last and only station on the Hachioji Line. And the things with this line is that it used to actually be a bit longer. It used to have 2 more stations, but I believe there was a flood in 1979 or something like that, which basically closed those other 2 stations, and for some reason they just kept this one going. I don't know why. And actually on a plaque right in front of the station, well, there are actually 2 plaques, there's one back there, but first let's see this. So yeah, this is a map of the old Hachioji Line. So right now we've only got one station here, which is this one, Genzai no Nishihino Eki. Then it used to be here actually, they moved it, and there used to be one before here, and then these 2 stations I believe were open at the time of the original closure. And yeah, it then all just got cut back because of flooding, I believe. And I guess it used to run along this road here. So this whole road used to be a train line. You can see some old pictures right here as well. And this is a little kind of tourism introduction board. So right now we are here, and there's a few things to kind of look at. There's some old buildings and stuff here. This is actually something I wanted to check out. It's the old city hall for Yokkaichi, and it's supposed to be quite beautiful looking. So I'm gonna go check that out as well, I think. And then, well, what I wanted to do, I wanted to then walk to another station on the other branch, which I believe is called Minami something something, and then go from there, but it started to pour down a bit, unfortunately. So, I mean, good thing I brought my umbrella, because this camera I've got is not waterproof. So I guess we'll still walk, just won't be as pleasant, I suppose. This is some important thing worthy of a plaque. Some sort of a jizo, which is basically these little kind of stone figures meant to protect travellers. Like me. So unfortunately, again, I have no data on my phone left. I only got 7 gigs per month, and on the 5th day of May, I've already used it all. So I'm gonna have to kind of guesstimate here, but I think if I go straight down these kind of side roads and then turn left again, I should be able to come face to face with the former town hall. Well, I guess city hall, rather, sorry. Yeah, I also wanted to go down these old side streets because they're just so much more charming, aren't they? These sorts of street layouts reminiscent of a different time, a time very different to Japan building 6-lane roads in front of their mega train stations. Oh boy. And there we are, that cute little slightly pink building is the former Yokkaichi Town Hall. Now I believe some sort of museum, but isn't it just lovely? It kind of just combines European and Japanese design sensibilities of the time to create something just completely new. Something which unfortunately doesn't seem to be awfully replicated these days. Unfortunately, the museum is only open on weekends from 9 to 6, and it is a Wednesday today, which is a shame. It would have been nice to see the inside, which is apparently quite beautiful, but the outside is also beautiful enough. It's a change of plans because it's honestly a bit miserable to walk in this weather, and I think it's actually a lot farther than I thought to get to the station on foot. So what I'm going to see and hope is that I can catch a train back from this station here back to the junction station, then keep going down the main line. Hopefully. I don't know if it's already been half an hour, is the only thing. I think I should be fine, unless the train driver's really mean and just departs right in front of me, which would be really awful. And lucky break. Oh no! The train I wanted to change to, it's already come. Oh well. It's a slight shame, but what can you do? Oh wait, it briefly opens, doesn't it? Yes! So you can briefly cross like this. I think that's going to be it. Okay, so we didn't get to get a shot of that train, but we made a daring escape down onto this train and through the tracks. Alrighty, and I've gotten off at Tomari Station just kind of as a more kind of spontaneous decision. I'll explain why a bit later, but before that, you've got a train actually coming in, the blue train. I was waiting a bit because there was actually a lot of people who were kind of on and off here. So this is Tomari Station, and the reason why I got off is because if you know the kanji for Tomari, it means literally to stop, or to stop by, more in like a kind of a hotel sense. But I thought, you know, the name is calling to me to get off. So what I'm probably going to do is from here walk to the next station onwards, see what's, you know, on the way there, and then from that station go all the way to the end, and then probably come all the way back to Yokkaichi and finish the video. Here are the tracks, and apparently right next to the tracks over there is a little temple, which I don't mind visiting one or two of, so let's go take a look. Right next to a snack bar, Snack Komachi kana. You have this cute little temple. I don't know, there's some sort of weird irony about that. Yeah, and here you are, a small little temple ground, I suppose. I always feel like, so shrines are usually, apart from the big ones, no one kind of really lives there, or it's more unmanned, especially in the more rural areas. But in temples, you usually have someone who is kind of stationed here, I believe, which always makes me a bit more, how do I say, hesitant to enter, because it feels like I'm entering someone's private property. Although I don't believe it technically is private property, but anyways, yeah, so this is one little temple. Let's continue walking on. So I was hoping I could just kind of walk alongside the rails and somehow find the next station, but it seems that this road doesn't go much farther forward, so instead we're just going to have to cross the tracks, and as you can see, yeah, super small. Or I'm not sure if you can tell, because these things are always hard to tell on film, right? You always have to give some sort of scale or something of the sort, but I can assure you it's very petite. So the station should be somewhere here. I think, oh, it's there. Okay, I need to be there. How do I get there? Oh, whoopsie daisy, I guess I'm just gonna have to loop around. One moment. Hey, let's look on the bright side. If I hadn't looped around, we wouldn't have been able to see Merry West English. Yes. Nor would we have seen what I believe says Onigiri no Momotaro, which obviously onigiri means rice balls, and then Momotaro is like that famous character that pops up in some stories also in Japanese folklore, I believe. So there you go. And then I believe here, yes, we have Oiwake Station, which has a very vibrant pink exterior. And I guess this also gives me an opportunity to show you, wait, let me just put my umbrella down, what a typical station looks like, I suppose, in this area. So first you've got a little waiting room right here. You have what used to be where a ticket vendor would be stationed for you to do all your ticketing needs. Now it's just all by machine. And also if you need to call someone, there's a little call button there, and that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, and they also have some more pictures. I wonder when these are from, and if these are the same trains. I think they're the same trains. It just looks a bit different because they have the decal on the front. But aren't these just so cute? Ah, I would have loved to ride this one. I don't know, it just looks so simple and cute with its three colours. Oh, I was a bit too fast.
Our next, this is the final stop of this train.
We're just about to arrive in Utsube, and I think I'm the only one on the train. Wait, let me just take, I'm just gonna go take a look. Am I the only one on the train? That makes me feel very happy if I am. Yeah, I am. Look at that. Okay, after my stupid little thing, here is Utsube Station, the last stop on this line. Which, look at that. Okay, so I know I said what I'd do is, once arriving at Utsube Station, I would just hop on back and go back to Yokkaichi, but I reckon, so this train here departs at 11:35, it's 11:19 right now. Let's see if we can outwalk the train to the next station. Because we might as well at this point, right? I mean, I've got a lot of free time, and I assume you've got a lot of free time if you're watching up until this point of the video, so let's go do it. That being said, I don't actually know the path there, so while we walk, let me get out me old map. So we turn right here, and then basically keep right to the next junction, and then that should lead us pretty much straight to the station. This is actually a good opportunity though, because actually I've not yet explained the kind of ownership situation around this private line. So to give a bit of context, the line opened around the early 1900s or so. It was just, a regular old private line, nothing too special, on the narrow gauge to save money. And then what happened is, at some point it came under ownership of the Kintetsu Railway Company, which seems to be kind of the ruler of the roost around here. JR seems to be playing second fiddle to them, at least when I went from Ise Station up to here and such. And basically what happened is, after a while, they said, well, this line is losing money, it's not really making any money at all, so we probably want to close it. Now, the locals, obviously not awfully happy with that, decided, no, we don't really want that. So right now, I believe the ownership structure is 75% Kintetsu still, and the rest is owned by, I'm not sure if it's Yokkaichi City or other local municipalities, but yeah, they've kept the line alive, and like many rail lines in Japan, which are struggling, they're trying to use tourism to boost their numbers, which, hey, for me, it worked. And maybe for you it would work as well, because I'm showing you it. But yeah, I will say, if you're in the area and you do like trains, really easy train line to explore. I mean, it's really short, it's pretty frequent actually, every half an hour is not bad at all. And I mean, I started at 9:38 and it's 11:22, and I've already explored this much in under 2 hours. And that's obviously with, talking and all that stuff. So if you're interested, you could but you could bang out this line really easily. So I recommend it. Yeah, and there we are. The next station, which unfortunately I don't remember the name of. It was 3 kanji, 3 characters. Once we enter the station building, I'm sure that mystery will be solved in no time. Anyways, let's take a look. Oh, there you go. It is Ogoso Eki, Ogoso Station. And it's housed by a very lovely wooden building. Anyways, we've made it with about 5 minutes to spare from when it departs from Utsube Station. So we take a look here, back to Yokkaichi. It's 11:28 right now, and the next train is at 11:36. This one right here. And I don't believe any of the stations, apart from back at Yokkaichi and I guess Utsube, are staffed. But when this was staffed, I guess it was back behind these boards. You can't see, but this is kind of where the entrance is, and I assume that's where people would be. But yeah, staffed Japanese stations getting rarer and rarer. And that's one thing, when I went back to the UK, I was actually kind of surprised about. In the UK, even very small train stations were often staffed. And I think one reason is, if you're in the UK, you know this, but when you buy paper tickets and you try to use it in a machine, I feel like 80% of the time it just doesn't work. It's just like, oh, there's an issue, go away. And basically you have to show it to a staff member, they'll be like, oh, come on through, and then just let you on through. If you're from the UK, please kind of help validate me on this, because when I went back to the UK and used paper tickets, it was an absolute menace.
Our next stop is Oiwake.
追分駅の近くにある東海道と伊勢街道の分かれ道、稲の追分。国道沿いにそっと佇む鳥居が今も変わらず私たちを見守っています。
Alrighty, and I've just gotten one more station, Akahori Station. And the reason why I wanted to get off is, well, first of all, I've just got plenty of time, to be honest, so why not? And also, this is one of the 2 stations on this line which gets trains 15 minutes a day, so, it's not even that much time wasted or, wasted waiting, really, but yeah, there goes the train. And one thing I forgot to mention about these trains, that for every station, they have a little announcement with kind of a fun fact about the area. For example, back in Tomari Station, the reason why it's called Tomari, which means kind of to stay or to stop a night, like a hotel, for example, in Japanese, is because this used to be where the Tokaido used to be, let me try that again. Tokaido used to pass, which is basically a huge traveling route in the Edo period between Tokyo and Kyoto. Basically, the daimyo, whoever would make a load of lords go one way or another as a way to kind of, how do I say it, make them waste their time so they don't try to overthrow the current government. And so this, obviously this route was heavily used, not just by, traveling lords or whatever, but, merchants, travelers, whatever. And this area used to have a lot of hotels and places to stay, because it used to be a kind of a post town on the Tokaido. But anyways, yeah, Akahori. I heard from the announcement for this station, apparently there's a load of little, how do I say, old buildings from that period where you can, which you can take a look at. So one thing I'm going to do is maybe just take a wee peek around and just see, just for like 5 minutes, if there's anything of mention, really. Wait, what? Kansha plus 100 yen? 100 yen? Okay, I'm sorry. I got to get something with this. 100 yen vending machines are exceedingly rare these days. I've not seen one in a long time. Never really seen one down in Kyushu, that's for sure. So let me get in on this bargain. What should I get? I can get melon cream soda, Lifeguard, new white soda, okay, Japanese soda. I'm just gonna get something I think a bit more normal and get this mango, peach, apple. Oh wait, no, it's out. Ah, god damn it, wait. These are all out. Oh, damn it. Wait, this isn't even off-rating, this vending machine. I got scammed. There is, however, a little ramen restaurant here. Fortunately, today is a scheduled day off, so we can't stay here, but yeah, isn't that cool? I will say this bridge does look sufficiently old for the Edo period. Although I guess in the Edo period they used more wooden bridges rather than stone bridges actually. Okay, I guess that'll do for a bit of exploration. Let's head back to the station. Oh, one thing, this tree's kind of growing into the station. You have to build the roof around it, that's cool. Anyways, let's tap in once more. And I'm kind of worried. Okay, I have enough. But this line has really drained my IC card of much of the money that was on it. If you're riding this train like I am, definitely get a one-day pass. Alrighty, and we're back at Kintetsu, or this is not the Kintetsu bit, but we're back at Yokkaichi. And there ends my journey around the Kii Peninsula. From here I'm going to pop up to Nagoya and then take the Shinkansen back home and normal life will resume. But I really hope you've enjoyed this trip. It's been honestly a fantastic 5-day trip through an area of Japan I didn't really know anything about until coming over here. And that's obviously the best part about these sorts of trips, finding out things and going to places which you just have no idea about and having just the most amazing of experiences. But yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed. I've enjoyed this train line in addition to all the ones I've ridden on this trip, but for now, that'll be it. Stay safe and have a good one.